In rabbit showmanship, the key is to look very professional. You want to look just as professional as the judge. So this entails no makeup, no jewelry or watches, no earrings, no pendants or necklaces, and you always want to wear a white show coat. They're just pretty much lab coats. You can buy them online. For younger kids, they also allow you to wear a white button-down shirt with nice blue jeans. So now that you look the part, you need a rabbit. You preferably want a rabbit that is a good representation of your breed and is in good fur and is rather keen on their table manners. So they've been shown before, they know how to act, they know they're not freaked out when they're handled, and they're okay with being messed around with. Because this is going to go very in-depth, and you're going to end up flipping them over and checking teeth, checking toes, checking pretty much anything and everything that a rabbit could get uncomfortable with. Preferably you would like your sleeves to go all the way down, but this coat has 3/4 sleeves and it really bothers me, so I roll mine up. If I were to actually do a showmanship representation, I would have my sleeves down. You also want to make sure that your hair is up tightly in a bun if you have long hair, male or female. They do not discriminate. Excuse my cat in the background. So now I'm going to go on to my showmanship. I have a little script written out that I use most of the time, and it's a really easy script to follow. It does cover some background on the breed. If you are a member of ARBA, or if you're not, if you join, you get this awesome book called Raising Better Rabbits and Cavies, and in it, it has all of the information that you would need. Like, look right here. Scholarships, rabbits in Canada, and then it even shows you all of the different breeds. There's a brief description of everyone. And it shows you, this is Dutch and Dorfoto, both of which I breed. It shows you the background as well. So it'll tell you what country it's from, how they were originated, when they originated, and if you already don't have it, get an ARBA Standard of Perfection. This is how your rabbit is. It's judged. It has every breed in it, and it goes in depth as to what you need in every single breed. And in order to breed to the standard, it is good to have the standard. So if you don't have it, you can order it for $20 online at ARBA. Sometimes different rabbit supply dealers will have it, like in our area in Northeast Kansas. Camelot comes out to one of our shows every year, and he usually has that in your registrar's guide. So I'm going to start. My bed is behind me, so we're going to have to pretend that I walked up to the table. Cat, quit messing with my easel. And what you're going to do is you need to maintain control of the rabbit. You want to be in control of the rabbit at all times. So now we're going to switch viewpoints. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I'm going to talk to you as if you were the judge. So I'm going to go through my script. If I stop, it's most likely to get my cats out of the way. Here, let me close my door. Hello, I'm Paige Miller, and I will be showing you a Steel Dutch Senior Doe. The Dutch is a 4-class breed that originated in Holland and is one of the oldest known breeds. There are 7 recognized colors. There are black, blue, chocolate, chinchilla, steel, and tortoise. The tattoo mark is RIG. I am checking the ear for any signs of canker or buildup that could be ear mites. It is free of debris. We're going to go ahead and move her over, and we're going to check her other ear for any presence. She is registered, so she does have another tattoo in her ear. It is the classic circle with the R inside. I'm also going to check for ear mites in this one. There's no sign of wax buildup or lesions or cankers that would show or indicate ear mites. I'm also checking for any missing portions of the ear or a broken ear. A broken ear is when the cartilage is bent. There will be almost a bump that you'll feel where it is healed back together. You just want a very smooth, straight ear. I'm not feeling any presence of broken cartilage. There are no pieces missing on each ear, so she is free of disqualifications. I'm going to go ahead and check her eyes. Put her down. It's okay. Looking at her eyes, they are brown, which is the correct color for steel. I'm also checking for any discharge that could mean sickness or disease. She is also free of something called moon eye or wall eye. That is when a milky surface, it is a film that covers the cornea. And usually this is caused by nest box eye or an infection in the eye when they were really young. It can sometimes be from a scratch to the eye or an injury, and that would usually mean that they are blind. Okay, she is free of it in both eyes. There's no discharge that would indicate any sickness or any infection as well. There are 5 different types of eyes or eye colors. There are brown, blue, blue-gray, pink, and marbled eyes. Blue and marbled eyes are disqualification in Dutch, as well as pink, of course. And although blue-gray is possible and permissible in chinchillas. The blaze on a Dutch is a very distinct facial marking. It covers the nose and the whisker bed, and it tapers up through the ears. The neck is also another distinct marking on the Dutch. It is this little triangle right here on the back of her neck that once again starts at the nape of the neck and goes up through her ears. I would say that she has a relatively good and even blaze, although it is a bit narrow. I would like it to be a bit wider at the base and come a little bit further up towards the ears. She also has a hairline, which is a thin line of hairs connecting the top of the blaze and the top of the neck. This is actually desirable, although it is not allotted any points. If a rabbit does not have a hairline, they are not to be disqualified. Okay, there are 5 body types. There are commercial, compact, full arch, semi-arch, and cylindrical. Dutch are a compact breed that carry a great deal of meat on their body for their size. Some use them as a dual-purpose rabbit. This rabbit has a very nice wide body. I love the width of her loin and her hindquarters. She's full and even all the way down to the table. She's also very thick in the shoulder. She has a very nice broad shoulder. Definitely no low shoulders here. She has good depth, although I would like her to peak a little bit later. Next we're going to go on to the markings as well. Dutch have markings everywhere. So this is the saddle marking right here where the white meets her color, which is once again a steel. It is the main marking of the Dutch rabbit. They look like their bottom half has been dipped in color. It should go all the way around to form a perfect circle on their body. It should start just behind the shoulders and form a complete circle of the torso. I'm going to go ahead and check it. Her saddle is a little bit forward, although it is very straight and even. I'm going to go ahead and flip her over. I'm going to go ahead and check body for abscesses. I forgot that. You're going to check the body for abscesses or lesions, any scabs or anything. Just feeling to make sure there are no abnormalities on the body. I do not feel any. She looks to be in very good condition. She's in very good flesh as well. I'm going to go ahead and flip her over now. So I'm now going to check the stomach and the sides and underneath the jaws for any abscesses. She is free of that. I also do not feel any lesions. I'm going to go ahead and check the front legs for straightness. Some Dutch have very weak bones, so you want to be sure to check that. So her legs are straight and free of broken bones. If there were any broken bones, she would be disqualified. Although she is free of that, so we do not have to worry about that. I'm also going to go ahead and check the inside of their legs. If there's any buildup or discharge on the inside of their legs, that could mean snuffles or allergies, because they clean their face by rubbing their arms on it like that. So if there is any discharge from the nose, even though there might not be any on the nose or face right now, you could see a buildup of little dry hairs right here underneath the dew claw. I'm going to go ahead and also check her teeth and her nose. I'm checking for any discharge as well up here. I do not see any. I'm also going to check for freckles, because freckles are a disqualification in Dutch. I am not seeing any freckles. They can show up on the outside of the nose, on the inside of the nose, and on the lips, both bottom and top. So I'm going to go ahead and check her teeth. They are the correct bite. You want the bite to be top over bottom. You do not want them to be butting or the bottom over the top. That would indicate malocclusion. Sometimes those animals have a hard time eating, and sometimes have poor health involved with that. So she is free of any spots. Her teeth are correct. And I'm going to go ahead and move on and check underneath. I check her back legs for straightness. They're straight. There's no broken bones. And I'm going to go ahead and also check her toes. The correct toenail color in Dutch is white, because they have the white tips of their feet right here. You want the toes to match their fur color. So all of them should be white, and all of them should be intact. If there are any broken toenails as well, going all the way down to the nail bed, usually a judge will disqualify, because that can sometimes be a sign of people tossing the tables, or putting an animal up that actually has a black toenail and they trimmed it down so that the judge cannot actually see the color. So usually those would be disqualified. I'm also checking to make sure she has all of her toes. If any toes are missing, that is a disqualification. So I'm going to check 1, 2, 3, 4, and dew claw, and 1, 2, 3, 4, dew claw. And the back leg only has 4, because there is no dew claw. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And all of those are the correct color as well. Another marking on the Dutch is the undercut. It is the saddle that follows completely through. Usually you want it to be right up underneath the elbows without it actually touching. If it reaches up and touches the elbow joint when the arm is extended, that is a disqualification, because that is something called a tied leg. So I'm going to go ahead and check this animal's undercut. She is a steel, so it is a little bit lighter, but there is a definite step in her undercut, which I would fault her on. It's not a disqualification, it's just a little step in it. It's relatively straight otherwise. She has good color underneath. Steel are supposed to have a little bit of a lighter belly. She also has very nice loin marks, which are dark colors coming into her loin, since the underside is lighter. While we're here, I'm also going to check something called stops, which are the markings on the end of her feet. You ideally want a third of this foot to be white. So she looks to have about a third of the foot white. I'm going to go ahead and grab both and compare them. They're very even. One is a little bit biased, so it's a little bit crooked. But they're very even. They're not ragged. Checking underneath, they're not very ragged either. Very nice stops, I would say. Very good placement. I'm going to go ahead and check sex. I'm going to press on the vent and expose her. She is a doe. She is actually ready to be bred because she's a very bright pink. I'm also checking for any signs of vent disease. Vent disease is a sexually transmitted infection in rabbits. It is very closely related to syphilis. You can treat it with a course of antibiotics, a first injection of 0.5 cc's to every 5 pounds, or a cc to every 10 pounds. You want to do one injection, and then you want to do another one 3 days later, and then another one 2 weeks later. So on day 14, you want to do another injection. I'm also checking to make sure that there is no stool or anything that could indicate sickness on her tail or the inside of her legs, which she is free from that. I also want to be checking for urine scald, which she does not have. Urine scald is when the rabbit either sits in its urine for too long or has urine underneath it and it actually burns the skin and causes some hair to fall out. But she is free of that. She's also free of vent disease. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check the tail for any broken bones or if it's bobbed. Her tail is very straight, no broken bones. We're going to go ahead and flip her back over. Going to check the tail for tail carriage. She has a very short tail, so it's kind of hard to see underneath her hindquarter, but it is straight. Although it is hiding a little bit, it is straight. She is carrying it correctly. Come on, baby. This is once again, her earmark is RIG. She has very nice fur. She's in very good flesh and fur condition right now. There are 5 different types of fur. There is flyback, rollback, wool, rex, and satin. She has what's considered normal fur, which is what falls under flyback and rollback, which most rabbit breeds have, if they are not, of course, a satin, a rex, or an angora. And I believe lion heads, Jersey woolies, and a few other breeds also have wool. She is a very good representation of the breed, which is why she is registered and grand championed, which means that she has gotten 3 legs, at least 2 junior and 1 senior. And she is in the ARBA database now, since she is registered. She is a very nice representation of the breed. I really do like this doe. She has very nice qualities. Do you have any questions? And now's when I'm going to switch viewpoints again, because when they say, do you have any questions? Like when you ask the judge, do they have any questions? They will. Usually, there are 5 to 7 questions. Go ahead and sit down. There are 5 to 7 questions that they will ask you. This can be anything from what is malocclusion, what is walleye, to who is the ARBA president, who's your district secretary. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. They'll do anything like that as well, or since I covered the different types of fur and the different body types in my presentation, they probably won't ask you that if you go off my presentation. Keep in mind for the younger kids that I'm also a senior. I am 18. This is going to be one of my last few years, so I've been doing this for a while. On the seniors, they pretty much want you to recite the standard. On juniors, it's going to be a lot different as well. Find a beginner sheet and go off of that, and you'll do great. Or if your child has the capacity to go off of my script, that is completely fine as well. They will blow the class out of the water unless they all get together and study. And it's like that in my county. There are 3 of us seniors that always come really close to each other. We all study together, we all raise the same breed, and we all always use Dutch. So we all are usually very close. One of us gets reserve, one of us gets grand, and the other one just says, woo, I did it too. Which is fine. It's all about fun. Fair and going to rabbit shows is all about fun. It's about enjoying yourself. So just keep in mind, don't get too stressed out around fair time if you're showing in the fair. Don't freak out if your rabbit starts blowing their coat, because she's never blown her coat. She's never shed. I don't know what it is about her, but she's just amazing for those. I always use her. But I was talking to a 4-H'er who didn't want to show the rabbit because they were blowing their coat. Don't do that. Just show it. It's, for most of the time, the fair is free for 4-H'ers, and you actually get premium money for participating. And it's fun. Even if that's your only rabbit and he's shedding, bring him. You'll have fun. You'll meet new people. You'll get to see what a rabbit show is actually like. So come out, have fun, meet people, have fun with your rabbit friends, and just remember, practice.